Yeast don't feed on the fat, like saturated fats. But molds do, bacteria does, and virus do. They feed on proteins and fats. Get in there and look and try to break it down. They are not the problem. The cooked saturated fats are a problem, but they're still not as bad as what has been the major cause of arthritis and rheumatism. There's margarine and hydrogenated oils, which are, of course, polyunsaturated. They're not saturated fats, but those are the real culprits.
It's liquid plastic.
Yes, liquid plastic, exactly what it is. So, on this diet, more saturated fats, the better.
One last thing from me. What's the cheesecake recipe?
You don't get it.
Ask Frank Binder. You've got it down.
It's equal parts of honey and butter and cheese, cheddar cheese, and the crust is nuts and butter and honey.
Then it has a nut formula, right?
Pardon?
Is it basically the nut formula?
No. You cannot make that crust out of it. It won't be a crust if you make the nut formula. But there's enough cheese and butter enough cheese and butter in it to neutralize the enzyme inhibitors. You won't digest the nuts at all, really. But it's just a treat.
You're just going to bind with all those toxins.
It's going to pass through your system. Okay, but it's a treat. It's a nice treat.
For when you start this program, will you suggest that it's necessary to have a physical consultation with you or take your book?
Well, you have to read the book from cover to cover before I'll take you as a client to make sure you want it. Well, you've heard of everything here, basically what's on the diet. So if you decide you want to do it, you already know basically what's happening. But there's a lot of information in there that it could take days for me to tell you what's in the book when you could read it in a day. And you need to read it from cover to cover. It is helpful if you have a lot of problems, multiple problems that would be too complicated for you to figure out, and you want to figure it out quickly instead of experimenting, exploring by the suggestions that I give in the book. If you want to take a leap through that and get from, A right to F, or G or whatever it is to get right to it, then I can help you. It's all up to you.
I felt like there's so much fine-tuning to your specific situation, like I said, this is lymphoma a year ago. And by the time I went to you, it was probably 2-3 months after that. I've been on the diet and was so relieved. My whole, I didn't even know I wasn't worried or concerned. Since I got clearly what's going on and what exactly to do about each aspect of the whole problem, it was just a breeze, and then I was just defining with that. So with that clarity.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody need any butter, cream, all those other things?
You have one more question, Charles?
I was wondering about, there's a lot of times that I don't feel hungry. And I know you're encouraging,
Mm-hmm.
and I alternate with the juice and the meat, that type of thing. So the body doesn't go to alcohol or to. But, and I know after, gaining 40 pounds, that's that type of thing. But there'll be, sometimes I'll go for like a whole day without eating anything. And having the extra weight, it's like I'm burning fat, it's just a little active. But I just don't have a taste for anything, juice. Is that...
It's better. Like I told him, I said, to break through that, you need to gain the extra weight. I like people to gain, men 15 to 30 pounds over their good, stable weight. Women 10 to 12 pounds. Because when you put on that extra fat, it will go in and start leaching out those toxins stored deep in the tissues. Without that, your body can't do it. You'll keep the blood, the lymph, and the neurological system clean, working, a lot of the garbage out. But you won't start leaching out the deep toxins, which are causing the main problem. So without that excess fat. So like I told him, he said, well, I have no appetite. I said, I don't care. If you're not vomiting, you're eating. That means you eat until you start gagging on your food. And now you don't have too much of a problem, right?
Well, I don't still have a lot of hunger, but I still eat.
You force yourself to eat.
I just eat almost every hour sometimes. because I know I'm going to have a nap somewhere along the way, and that could be 2 or 3 hours off. So I have to catch up what I lost.
What about the use of like sea vegetables, seaweed, salt, that sort of thing?
They're all vegetation, which the human body does not digest well.
High in salt, I would imagine. Adding sea salt.
Well, if it's fresh, it's more easily digestible, and the concentration of other minerals along with the salts is in a balance. Because that plant doesn't absorb just the salts. It absorbs a balance of that. Most of the salts, the sodium stays out, and in the fluid it doesn't absorb them. The fish doesn't do that either. It doesn't absorb mainly salt. It absorbs all of the minerals in a certain balance, even though sodium is so concentrated in the seed. The same thing with sea vegetation. You eat that, it's a little bit more digestible. But when you take sea vegetation, dry it, and powder it, or rehydrate it, you're not going to digest even 10% of it.
Yeah, look what it did to the Chinese and Japanese. They extended their growth for 3,000 years. Well, 5 feet tall, but when they come to the United States,
And they eat meat for this meat.
they're 6 feet tall.
Yeah. Meat.
So one guy from the Philippines told me, that he goes back and visits his relative, and these skinny little things about 5 foot tall. He's about 6 foot tall. Exactly.
Yeah.
I have a concern that if I'm going on the downward diet, it takes about 2 months to lose that 12 pounds, and then I take about a month to gain it. And I have a concern that I'm not doing enough of the fats, because I've only done a month of fats and all that, and I'm doing 2 months of just the juice and meat. Does that work?
Yeah, but you're having at least a little bit of butter every day, right?
No, you tell me.
Have about a tablespoon of butter a day with one of the meat meals, just so you don't get too dry. But you seem to handle and store your fat pretty well. He does not.
Oh, do you wind up going too much of butters? In other words, you wouldn't, does it hurt you to have to take a day or something like that with you?
I eat half a pound a day.
I eat a pound a day.
I eat a pound a day.
In fact, I eat more than a pound a day because I have a lubrication formula twice a day, and each lubrication formula is a half a pound of butter.
But you're much bigger than me.
Yeah.
Right. If I'm having a lot of cream, I won't have maybe a quarter of a pound of butter.
Yeah.
And a cup of cream.
But he doesn't seem that you OD on it particularly.
Sometimes I try. Like after the poison mushroom, I force myself to eat a lot. But there's no ODing. I mean, I've tried. I've done 2 pounds a day, and I've never OD'd.
What you could be doing in terms of getting something to get the deep tissue toxins out, like out of the bone and the deep muscle tissue, with the coconut cream as well as the butter as you can change, so you're not getting on the butter.
If you like it. But the butter is just so tasty right now. I've got bonkers on the butter.
You remember Timothy Brantley?
Yes.
He called me last night. You know, he has his new discovery in?
What?
That at least 40 to 50% of your diet should be at least butter.
Hey, didn't I tell him that some time ago?
About 2 or 3 years ago.
You just want to eating it, what are you mixing it?
Timothy has all of a sudden said, he didn't want to admit that you were right. He wanted to say he had discovered something for himself.
Right.
I thought you'd find that good.
Hot water and they just toss the garlic in it.
Like I just had it with blueberries in there. Blueberries and butter I had together, which is nice.
That's what I'm
I know there's some people that are going to be leaving
blended together like a
I
marmalade.
know there's some people are going to leave right now, so I'm going to go out to Suzanne and give them their butter and cream and stuff.
Okay.
And she's going to play a song, but I'll be out there.
All right. Okay.
Keep them for me, Dan.
I got her.
So continuing further about eating,
What do they do?
so even if we don't feel hungry, they should really try to eat.
Right. I mean, once in a while, after you go through a detox, so say like a cold or a flu,
Yeah.
it's okay to go, once you're on the downside of it, might be able to go a half a day or 3/4 of a day without eating, because you're still being juice. Or a little milk, or a little butter. But otherwise, it's better than
Yes. It's not the taste. I mean, I love the
just
taste.
have no hunger.
I have no hunger. And that's what...
Ignore it.
Ignore it. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
This sure explains a lot of history. Just thinking back to the history.
Oh, yeah.
My goodness. Opens up a whole new world. That's the way it's been. Wow.
I've never done an experiment with them. Maybe I'll bring this. So what you can do is just take the juice and put it on some different kinds of metal and see within 6-7 hours if it starts turning black and the metal starts. That's about 6 or 7 hours. It's still, I'll let you know. Okay.
But it's going to work better if you're not right.
No, it works. Berries work better either right or unripe.
Doesn't matter. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. First question you asked today.
Yeah.
Is the only reason for not eating any of the foods cold because it stops digestion, or is there another reason?
It stops digestion.
That's it?
Ice cream you can get away with it because digestion happens in the liver. Mainly. Ice cream. Frozen baked. Milk is not a good idea, to have frozen or cold. Especially if you have a digestive problem, because when you drink the milk and it's cold, hydrochloric acid doesn't spill in, it goes through the duodenum, and all of a sudden it's passing. By the time it gets warm, it's passing into the intestines undigested, and then you get undigested proteins in the blood, and you could get an allergy from it.
We're saying, in other words, don't warm that stuff up.
Warm it up or leave it out till it gets room temperature.
And you leave milk or cream out all day for days?
I always take mine out at least 10 hours before. If I want kefir or yogurt, what I'll do is just shake up the milk and then take a half, like 3/4 of a cup out of the bottle and then put it in the cupboard. And I'll let it sit there until it turns into kefir or yogurt. Which it will. Just turn thick. It depends, like in this heat, probably 2 days or less, 1.5 days. The in-between state is where it's funny tasting. So if you want it, better tasting, then take it out of it, shake it up, take it out of the fridge, shake it up, and just let it sit for 10 hours.
You cover it up? Or you leave it open?
No, I keep it covered, but shave the lid on it. And if you don't leave it where the sun hits it, if you leave it in the cupboard, then it won't sour as much.
So that isn't like sour cream?
But there's that in-between state, which is a funny state that isn't as tasty. Okay, that's it. So we'll get to the mini console. So we have 2, right? Oh, there you are, Steve.
Just 4. Just
4. Okay. You want to start, Steve?
Sure.
Okay, blood circulation is pretty good. You're not absorbing all of the oxygen. Are you drinking the parsley juice?
Yes.
How much? Are you doing it regularly?
Yeah, every morning. With apple and cheese.
Only in the morning?
Yes.
Apple and cheese?
Yeah.
No.
No apple.
No apple or cheese.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, because vegetable juice alone.
Right.
That's the thing. I said if you were nauseous, going to vomit, something like that, you could eat the cheese with it.
Okay.
That's fine. But vegetable juice should always be eaten by itself.
Or at least
Any other food.
on each side.
Well, an hour on either side, unless you have a very fast digestion tract. It usually takes 20 minutes for the stomach, or half an hour, except the first thing in the morning, half an hour for the stomach to absorb all the juice, and then another half an hour to re-acidify the stomach. Because the juice alkalinizes.
Drink hot water before that. That's better.
That's the very bit. Because I can see you shouldn't be having oxygen problems, oxygen utilization problems. You have a lot. So Have the vegetable juice alone, parsley and the celery. You have a lot of scar tissue in your small intestines. So I recommend that you have 2 ounces of olive oil a day with one of your meat meals. And don't have it with the same meat. Have it more often with chicken when you have it, but sometimes have it with beef, sometimes have it with fish, sometimes have it with chicken. Okay. But most often with chicken. Right. 75% of the time have it with chicken. Okay. Because the chicken is very much like the tissue that's in your intestines. Mm-hmm. So it'll help replace it. You need to give up the scar tissue. And you need to have the right protein in there to substitute for those cells, because you can't give them up if it doesn't have a replacement. So chicken's important for that.
I just remember you saying no olive oil with meat because it's dry and solvent.
That's if you don't have any, any butter or cream at all. Okay. But definitely to remove scar tissue is very necessary. Okay. If you're only having it with one meat meal a day, then 2 ounces, that's fine. Okay. This is funny how people...
Why? Yeah, get that with your
it's like, well, that's why everybody needs to keep coming back. But we get misconceptions along the way.
You got to keep coming.
You still have a lot of bile in the joints, especially in your shoulder and neck. And even in your face, in your adrenal glands, in your pancreas. That still has to discharge. Do you ever get diarrhea?
I went to Mexico over Memorial Day. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for about 8 days afterwards.
Congratulations. Yeah. And over to some of that bile. Do it again. Because that's the quickest way to get rid of it besides vomiting.
Maybe when I grab a picture.
Some of that lake water. Dirty lake water. You could use some boysenberries with either raw cream or coconut cream. And cherries. Stay away from apples. Once in a while, an apple will be okay. Apple and cheese together is fine. Doesn't seem to be pulling out the bile out of the adrenal gland like it normally would. But you've got much more bowel up in your shoulders and neck that need taken care of. So I'd focus on the berries rather than apple, and the especially the boysenberry. And cherries to help build your blood to build the oxygen more.
Do they have to be organic? Or is it
it's always preferable. If it isn't, then get the frozen berries, cascading farm. Doing a pound of meat a day?
About.
Okay, good. Keep that up.
That's really everything on food.
Okay, it's pretty good.
All right, thanks. Good seeing you.
Good seeing you again.
The steak, I guess. The stuff that will be put in there.
Hey, who's next?
I guess I am.
Are you? And your name?
Patty.
Patty, hi, Patty.
Hi, Anthony. I heard about it.
Okay, relax your hand. The left ovary looks pretty sound. The right ovary is okay, debilitating a little bit. The adrenal glands look okay. Looks like the right one was excessively overactive for many years, so usually means a very hyperactive person.
Yes.
The pancreas is almost completely shot, so I would consider yourself a diabetic and only eat raw foods, because whenever you eat a cooked meal, the pancreas has to send out hormones to every cell in the body and say, I need vitamins, I need enzymes, I need minerals, I need stable proteins, fats, everything that is your best to take care of this meal in here that has nothing. to get some use out of it. So every time you eat a cooked meal, it overtaxes the pancreas and leaches from every cell, so every cell gets weaker and weaker every time you eat a cooked meal or cooked food. Because your pancreas doesn't seem to be working, but maybe 5-6%, it's best you never even look at a cooked meal. It'll just all turn into complete poison. You just won't be able to handle it properly.
I like being on the agree.
Left thyroid gland is okay. Circulation isn't real good there, but the foundation of it's good. Parathyroids are very good, a little scar tissue around it. Looks like you had your tonsils in there?
Oh, yes.
Lots of scar tissue there, yeah. This side looks a little bit better, not as much scar tissue, but this side developed a lot of scar tissue. Parathyroids here are normal, okay, a little scar tissue around them, and the thyroid over here is okay. Lots of bile stored all throughout your system. You need the coconut cream to help get rid of it. You have metal poisoning all in your uterine area, ovaries. Berries and coconut cream are good. Lots of meat, lots of chicken. So I would say about 55% red meat, beef, buffalo, venison, bison, anything like that. Lamb, and about 40%, 35-40% chicken, turkey, any kind of fowl, pheasant, peacock. I just had peacock last May, and it was incredible. Very much like duck, but a little bit more like a red flavor. And about 5 to 10% fish.
Okay. Salmon, okay.
Salmon's fine. Whatever appeals to you. And you need about minimum of 3/4 of a pound of meat a day.
3/4.
And you need, it would be a good idea for you to drink a lot of milk, even because it'll pull some of the bile to the stomach. And you might get a little nauseous with it, so maybe a little sugar cube sized amount of cheese before you drink some milk.
Okay. Do I put honey in the milk?
You can if you like.
It tastes better. Yeah.
So, do you have any trouble with your spine?
Not usually.
Right around the kidney on the left side, you have some metal poisoning, so you might get a sciatica reaction that starts cleaning. So if you have papaya, make sure you don't have more than one papaya in a week, or else it's called a rapid intensity detoxification.
I see.
You don't want that.
Green papaya or Mexican yellow?
Green's always better, but it could be Mexican, green Mexican papaya. It could be.
Okay, but it shouldn't be ripe or overripe.
No.
Because I always tend to select fruits that are overripe. Red, red everything.
There's more alcohol, there's, a lot more sugar and less enzyme.
Okay.
You need the enzyme. You don't need the alcohol.
Okay.
And you don't need all that sugar.
That's nice.
And you have lots of metal poisoning in the brain and sinuses. So you'll have some mucus from drinking the milk, but you want it discharging.
Okay, I see.
Mucus is a very good thing. It's one way your body dispels poisons is built into the mucus and out. The only way you'll build mucus that is an unhealthy mucus is if you eat pasteurized milk.
Yes.
There's scar tissue in your small intestines, so you need, about 2 ounces of olive oil every other day with one of your meat meals.
Okay. Liver function?
There's a lot of metal poisoning in your liver. So it's functioning maybe 25%. How old are you?
55. Almost, yeah.
You're older than I am. Not even. Just have to eat lots of fat,
Yeah.
get that liver working.
Being on the raw food diet for a year and a half, no fat, just avocado and olive oil.
It's too drying. Yeah.
Oh, it's awful. But this is much more compatible, Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Next.
No.
Mike. Nice to see you. You met you in the kitchen, didn't you? Okay, Mike, it looks like you have advanced anemia and lots of bile. The left testy seems to be formed okay, but it is very weak. The right is more stable, but it's shrinking. The adrenal glands were normally very overactive, especially the left adrenal gland. Shows a hyperactive nature as a younger person. Usually when it's that deep or this size of a mountain, it means over-sexually stimulated. So if that still comes on you every once in a while when you're not fatigued, take care of yourself if you don't have a partner. And the pancreas on this side is almost completely debilitated, and on this side works about 25%. So altogether, your pancreas is working maybe 15%. So if I were you, I would treat yourself like a diabetic, stay away from cooked foods and stay away from sugars, even fruits. Unless it's very low carbohydrate fruits, like berries and cherries, and grapefruit. Grapefruit might have a tendency to lower your blood pressure a little too much, and may make you a little more, could make you fatigued, a little tired and a little unhappy. So don't have it too often. And so grapefruit, yeah. The splotchiness here shows that you don't absorb oxygen well. Your meat, you should be eating about 1.25 pounds of meat a day. And 90% of your meat should be red meat, like beef, buffalo, for about a year and a half. And 10% should be fish. And what you might do is have, every time you have beef, you have just a bite or two of fish with it. Because you have a tendency to go two ways. You're not normal diabetic reaction where you're too alkaline, and you have a tendency to be over acid in some areas, so you've got this back and forth movement. So if you'll have, even let's say you're having 6 ounces of red meat, you can have one bite, which is about 1/2 ounce of fish with it, and that will help balance it. The liver has some metal poisoning in it. The right kidney seems to be okay. It has a little metal poisoning in it. The left kidney is very dry. It's like it's breaking down. Do you have any problem with your left kidney?
Not that I know of. So
Any back pain, leg pain on the left side?
Yeah, I have back.
Okay. After about 3 months on a good diet, I would suggest that you drink your urine every third day. Its own ammonias that it will produce will help clean out. You've got some kind of compound in the kidney that's actually destroying the kidney. It's kidney atrophy. It means that kidney could disappear in about 6 years and stop functioning completely. But you have to be on a good diet for a while and not do it too often.
How many days?
About a cup. The first one in the morning because it will have more of your healing hormones. 90% of the healing happens in the sleep state. So when you wake up in the morning, you have more regenerative hormones in that one. And that'll help go right to the kidney. So in the morning, say good morning. First urine of the morning. Drink whatever you have. You know, if it's a cup, drink a cup of the tap, something you have to. if you do that much to eat in the morning,
Well, sometimes, right?
yeah.
How long would you wait till the juice stand after that? An hour or?
Well, you need to wait about half an hour to have juice after that. And then a full hour after the juice before you have any vegetable juice. Yeah, you'd have the urine, and then you'd wait a half an hour and have the juice, and then after you finish the juice, you wait an hour before you have the meat. I always recommend people drink the juice and even eat the meat. If you go to egg or some kind of fruit, you're going to put your body in a carbohydrate mode. And you're going to have a tendency to want to eat fruit all day, want to eat sweet things, and not eat the meat. You're not going to be as clear thinking, you're going to be much more emotional. So if you want to be clear and direct and move through your day with self-control as much as possible, then always follow your juice with a meat meal. Unless you're going through a lot of toxicity, like you're having a flu or a cold, then you could have egg, milk, some kind of a milkshake or smoothie. And lots of chicken. Or even the lubrication formula with chicken. And that's all you need during those kind of detoxifications. And your juice needs to be about 30% parsley. That's pretty strong. But with it looks like some severe anemia, not just on a cellular level, but on a bone marrow level. So.
That's my son better.
Yeah.
You're drinking grapefruit juice in the morning, orange, and then you take like 3 eggs, and then honey, vanilla.
This needs to be a meat and vegetable juice. In fact,
Hardly any food.
hardly any food.
I go to the mail and I just eat fruit for lunch
All day long, yeah. High sugar.
high sugar, and
But if you ate a heavy meal of meat with butter or some kind of other fat in the morning, you'd be able to be clearer and not have that addiction.
then make sure the whole day.
No, what you do is also make, like a milkshake and a lubrication formula, and have the mix throughout the day. Then when you get home, have another heavy meat meal. No? I didn't know. Relax. Just not eating enough meat. Your glands have not. It's regenerated a little bit. I can see that it's stabilizing here, but over here, your ovaries are still debilitated. You have metal poisoning in the base of the left one. Ovary, yeah. And at the top of it too. Pancreas on the right side is shot. The left is maybe 10% functional. Maybe 10 to 20% functional. Pardon? Yeah. And or eat much fruit. You could probably handle 4 ounces every other day well without any problem. Otherwise, you're going to get emotional and depressed. Metal poisoning all throughout the sinuses. So you should have some bleeding discharges when it starts coming out. Very dry sinus discharge and blood when that starts to spread. Lubrication formula, the best thing. Just remember that your body cannot redistribute your weight and not remove it without the protein. It takes the protein to utilize it. So let me give you a different weight loss program. Somebody writing this down here?
Yeah.
Okay. I'd like you to have a vegetable juice, only 4 ounces first thing in the morning. Then I'd like you to go for 2 golf ball sizes amount of meat with a teaspoon of butter. Then I'd like you to go, the next time you get very hungry, another golf ball size of meat with a teaspoon of honey. Then, not honey, excuse me, butter. Then, next time you get hungry, have 8 ounces of vegetable juice. Next time you get hungry, a golf ball size of meat. Next time, an egg. Then start the cycle over again. Right, 1 egg a day. Right. Well, no, you'll be going over that. I mean, however many times you need to eat, you just keep going through that same pattern they gave you. So, however many times.
Eat with a teaspoon of butter, golf ball size meat with butter again, and then egg, and then go the cycle.
The cycle again. 2 golf balls. First one is 2 golf ball sizes of meat.
Yeah, and then the second one is
1. Okay, with a teaspoon of butter for the first 2 meat meals. After that, you skip the butter for the next golf ball size of meat and the egg. Then the next time you'll have butter again. Okay? About 90% of your meat should be red meat. You still haven't eaten it. But you do need fish. Some fish. 10%.
What about chicken?
It means that you're eating, when you should be eating a pound of meat a day, it's if you're having 6 1/4 pounds of red meat a week, you should be having 3/4 of a pound of fish a week. Which is a good size, tuna steak, swordfish, cherries and cream would be good for you. Cherries and butter would be even better. Juice ratio should be about 60% celery, 25% parsley, and 15% zucchini. And maybe once in a while some cucumber, but mainly zucchini. Not even the cooked neck. Mainly zucchini. Are you doing something artistic? You need to do something artistic. Otherwise, there's no joy in your life. So you need to do something creative. That's part of your food too. When you've got markings like these.
what's indicated?
Pardon?
What's indicated now?
The bones are difficulty. Yes. Yeah. You're very welcome. Okay. Yeah. Now let's start with. Let's see what time is it. Individual consult. With what? Oh, terrific.
Got a little break.
That's a normal. I did it in a normal time. Yes,
I know.
Terrific.
I haven't really explained my opinions. I don't know if you want this or not, but you can let me know what I think you know. So let us go.
If you want to play. Because I'm just going to rest for 15 minutes.
I always show up and ready to deliver, but I don't know if they want it or not.
Absolutely. Let's hear some.
I'm thinking of
What is your name?
I'm Jay.
Jane?
Jay.
Jay. Hi, Jay.
Sure, John.
Nice to meet you, Jay.
Nice to meet you.
I'm working on it. So it's catching up with it. Anyway, we had a little fun today with Liz out and doing the materials. It was really beautiful, and we're going to really do that kind of had a little fun with it now.
Okay.
Yeah, this is like released 2 weeks ago. I had a nice concert in Carlsbad. I don't know if I was able to tell you about it or not. But I have your card. I really am not getting your emails.
Well, my computer's been down for 2 weeks.
I'm on the card one, but yeah. But I don't get any of this fun stuff you mentioned, people. So I've been throwing stuff away. Oh, good.
I guess I don't have your email.
Email us, please.
Okay.
Look at all this new stuff that happened since I let's tell you, I did a CD, did a big concert, got cards. I have people that are really rooting for me. Good thing.
Great.
And I even wrote a new song, and I didn't bring my, there's a music with me because it's so new that I still need them, but it's on the CD. It's called Nature's Dance. I think we should just try it anyway. The reason I wrote the songs because everything that happens in life, I needed to define in one simple phrase or another so I could gracefully go through, and I realized that everything that's happening was a dance of nature. So I wrote nature.